So, I've never really been a big AI guy. When ChatGPT first came out, I did check it out a bit, and it did become an app I'd use somewhat frequently. But for the most part, I just used it as a tool, which is what I believe AI's only use should be, is as a tool. Anyways, it's 2026 now, and AI is pretty much everywhere. It controls algorithms, controls moderation. You get the idea. It's kind of unavoidable now. So recently I stopped using ChatGPT as my main AI tool and switched over to Claude by Anthropic. Since it's probably as close as you can get to an ethical AI, if we ignore the fact that Anthropic does do contracting with the US government. Anyways, I am using AI a bit more than I usually would, and man, I'm realizing now how really useful of a tool AI is. So the other day, I wanted to set up a Minecraft server off of my PC. Now, it really wasn't that hard, but I had no clue on how to do that in the first place. But dude, Claude literally walked me through the whole process. And yeah, I made a server to run off my PC in like 20 minutes. So it's pretty useful as a tool, right? I mean, sure. But like a hammer can be used to build a house, that same hammer can also be used to fucking crack someone's skull open, bro. Morbid, I know, but there is a real risk when it comes to using AI. So this leads into the first topic, the downsides of AI. So all the downsides about AI are honestly up to the user. It does really depend on the way that you use it. But let me get a bit personal here for a moment and talk about something happening to a family member of mine. So this family member is currently experiencing what I believe to be AI-induced psychosis, or at least reviving past psychosis with AI. Anyways, these AI companies do kind of want people to go crazy, because if you go crazy for AI, it causes you to use it more, and more use ends up equating to more money for these companies. Like, every AI has a paid option that's better than the free one. And how many people with an AI addiction end up spending money on that? It's probably safe to assume a decent chunk of people do. So what's the problem then? I mean, I think that at the core of this, the issue is AI being privately owned. Because AI being privately owned allows for a lot of exploitation to occur. I think such a groundbreaking technology as AI should be a public good and not private property. But that's besides the point, and that's like a whole nother topic. Let's get into another AI-centered topic, and then after that, I'll move on to social media addiction. All right, so do you know the phrase generative AI? You probably do, and if you don't, let me enlighten you. Generative AI is a type of AI that creates, quote, new original content, including text, images, code, music, and even videos, end quote. And this is what we all know as AI now. This is what like the mainstream AI is now. Generative AI is what mainstream AI is. But let me focus on 3 of the things that I just mentioned. Generative AI that makes any form of images, music, or videos is honestly, in my opinion, a massive waste of resources. It is a waste of computing power, it's a waste of water, and it rots the fucking minds of people. Any fully creative work made using AI isn't really creative, because you are ultimately just mishmashing all of the internet's already existing videos, images, or music into something slightly resembling something new. And when you watch or consume AI videos or images, it does genuinely feel like it lacks a soul. Being creative is a human thing, and I don't believe we should be using valuable resources to replace one of the things that makes humans humans. We've been making art for thousands of years, and this is the first time in history you don't need any actual skill to make art. But is it really art? If there is no true artist, I don't think it is. I hate AI that's used to make videos, images, and music. Sure, you can use it to assist you in those endeavors, but be a human. Do the human thing. You don't need to outsource creativity fully. And not everything is gonna look perfect and wonderful, But that's the beauty of it, the flaws that only a human could do. All right, now let's move on to the social media addiction. All right. So I definitely have a social media addiction, like 100% have one. And I believe a lot of people in my generation also have a social media addiction. I mean, we were the first generation that kind of grew up with the internet, really, and that caused us to use it. And some of us to get phones or just a way to access the internet really young. And man, have the times changed from back then. Because before, the internet was a place where you could truly connect with others. And now it's just like a digital echo chamber. The algorithm guides you to where it thinks you want to be, and it keeps you there so long as you choose to stay there. There's days where I'll spend it doing nothing but scrolling, and eventually I'd stumble on some depressing shit, and the algorithm would just spiral into more depressing shit and more depressing shit. And fuck, man, that does take a toll on your mental health after a bit. But why can't we just stop? Well, we can, but these apps are literally engineered to keep you on them. The companies who own these social media sites pay psychologists and behavioral scientists to increase your time on the app. Now, with AI embedded into these algorithms now, it's like every app has a personalized version for you, kind of like where it all started, on the TikTok For You page. Short form content is now the norm. Long form is slightly coming back, but for the most part, short form content is the giant and also the most addicting. It was designed that way. It's not any of our faults. Most of us were young, and social media at the time when we were first introduced to it was a genuine way to connect with our friends. For example, with me, when I first got social media, I downloaded Instagram, and I got it to connect with friends from school. And at the time, yeah, it was pretty much just that, a way to communicate with friends from school, because I didn't have phone service at the time, so Instagram messages was really the only way I could talk to my friends. And, you know, you could use social media to show pictures of yourself, and, you know, you could be yourself on social media before. But then TikTok came around, and a while after, these social media companies saw the true potential of short form content. And well, we ended up with what we have now, in a digital capitalist hellscape where almost every short form video now is just trying to sell you something or to make you fearful and paralyzed. And now that TikTok is pretty much US spyware, it does feel more bleak than ever. And I'm not gonna lie, I do hate it, but I do still have hope for real human connection to prevail. Remember, what you consume does genuinely become your mind. Social media is fine, but don't use it in excess. Be mindful of the way you consume content. All right. Love ya. See you in the next one.
I feel like I'm drowning underwater. I feel like I'm stuck and go no farther. The way I'm feeling, tell me, is it my fault?